he was like, hey, I've been listening to your show for years. And he goes, I really love all the phone interaction you guys have. And I know Lydia is that because you guys all talk about that. So he's like, do you think I can get a couple minutes of time to talk to Lydia about how you guys get so many great phone calls? Uh-huh. And I'm going, oh, yeah. Sure.
That's the reason.
In the bar lobby hotel.
Over a couple cocktails.
Right.
At 1 a.m.
Exactly. By the way, just to give you an idea what boot camp is like, it's weird when you start, you do hang out in the bar a lot. Like, remember how great it is? It's a lot of fun.
That's why I said it really is so much
Seriously.
fun.
Book it. You're by yourself, book a plane ticket. You can come to boot camp. But here's the thing that's funny. By the end of boot camp, there's always the romances that happen. So there's always the convention hookups that happen. And then you'll find out that, somebody from, the Elvis Duran shows, dating somebody from the Bobby Bones show or something like that. You know what I mean? Just throwing names of shows out.
In our industry is choosing to date a radio guy.
Believe me.
What's wrong radio guy?
Well, that's why I think you understand that it's like radio guy, radio girl, like we're all just wired real weird.
But is it just hookups or is it date? Because why? Because you're going to become content on somebody else's show.
Yeah. Megan, there's what's the show that's in Seattle? I don't know why I'm brain farting right now.
What do you show?
No, the show that was the Seattle. They used to work on the Elvis Duran show together, and they dated.
Oh.
And they're with each other.
No, Anthony and Carla Marie.
Carla Marie and Anthony. Like those guys actually.
Rover and Douche,
but they're together. They are a couple. Oh,
I know
okay.
they're a couple, but that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. Who dates other radio people?
Oh, yes.
Rover dated his co-host, and they broke up, and they're still doing a morning show together.
Yeah.
Ooh, see, that is very.
God, I hope Rover is there too, because Rover is always the Rover and Woody, who are two of our great morning shows. Rover in Cleveland, Woody in California and across the world. Both of these guys are syndicated shows. We will all sit together and just sit there and give crap to the whole thing. Michelle McCormick in Grand Rapids and Greg, we will sit there and go, look at those guys trying to hook up. I might actually have Michelle be my person to get guys away from Lydia. Loving on Lydia, Morning Show Boot Camp. Christina, what's up?
Hello.
Hey.
When I got old enough, my dad used to write down the make, the model, the VIN number of any car that I left with a gentleman, and he would take a picture of their license.
To make sure you got home safely.
Yeah.
You know
Honestly,
what? That's good.
I might do that one day.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
turn.
not a terrible idea.
Yeah,
It's actually very smart.
And actually, you should take an updated picture of what everybody was wearing that night. Make sure that everybody comes home.
Could you imagine you walk in the house? He's like, "All right, get together, snap, just in case."
Yeah. Nico, what's up? It's Mojo in the morning.
Hey, guys. First time, long time.
Yeah. What's happening?
Okay, so my dad hated my ex-boyfriend. My mom was okay with him, so she would, help me hang out with him. And one time we snuck my boyfriend over, and we didn't realize that my dad had already come home. So my boyfriend hid in the car, and my dad came outside and saw him. So he chased him down the street and threatened him if he ever saw him with me again.
Oh, that's great. You know what? Don't you love that your dad was that protective of you, or did you hate it?
It was hit and miss because he wasn't like that with all of them, and he had these preconceived notions about him that weren't even true.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was just...
There was something about him, though.
Dad.
He looked shady. Katie, it was your grandpa that would do this?
Yeah, my grandpa used to, when they would call the house phone for my mom, would say the ex-boyfriend's name or the wrong person's name.
Just to mess with him.
Yeah, just to mess up. My mom would get so embarrassed.
That's great. Tim, what's going on? It's Mojo in the morning.
Hey, this is Tim.
Yes, Tim. Hi, Tim. How are you, Tim?
Hey, good. I remember I was a kid. My sister and her boyfriend came home from a date night one time, My dad grabbed my sister's boyfriend's right hand, smelt it, looked him dead in the eye, and said, "You're lucky."
That's so weird.
Thank God you didn't smell the left.
My dad didn't notice, so my sister was driving, not him.
Ew, that is so weird.
Maybe he was smelling for alcohol or something. Come on, get your minds out of the gutter.
Sure.
Joe, this is the best. So, Joe.
Hey, how's it going?
Joe, is you're a girl dad?
Yeah, I have a stepdaughter. I'm an officer, so I came home in my uniform, and I had my gun on my hip. Her boyfriend at the time looked at my hip, saw the gun, got scared, and was trying to be so polite to me. And a couple weeks later, I found out that he cheated on her, so I promised my daughter that I'll take her to the gun range, print a picture of his face, and put it on the target. Unleash her anger.
Joe.
That's man. By the way, did you ever look for that kid and try to pull his ass over and write him as many tickets as possible?
No.
Oh, I would have done that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I disconnected you. Oh, God, he's going to pull me over now. Lydia, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Because Lydia has never been to this before. Shannon, do you want to give her forewarning on anything?
You are going to love it. I mean, you are going to love it. But just beware. I mean, radio people can drink.
Yeah.
But so can you.
Oh, yeah. We can go shot for shot.
And they all talk about themselves. They're all like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they all talk in weird voices.
And what happens at Radio Boot Camp does not stay at Radio Boot Camp. It gets talked about Monday morning.
Hey,
so just
represent us
remember
well.
that.
That is true, by the way. You'll
Remember that. And then we're gonna have, some show in Kansas City calling us.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Nobody is your friend.
Trust no one.
Yeah. By the way, if you are one of the other radio shows that does like to listen to this radio show, and we appreciate that, because listen, I listen to other radio shows all the time too. Send us a message, send us a DM or something, and just tell us that you're going to be out there, because I'd love to get a chance to meet them. I'm going to tell you that last year at Morning Show Boot Camp, there was years where it got really bad, like where honestly it was like boring as hell. It wasn't good. Last year was the youngest I've ever seen Morning Show Boot Camp, and it was honestly one of the most inspiring, that there are some really talented radio shows that are out there.
Very cool.
But none as good as this radio show.
You have to say that.
No, I don't. I do say that. I mean it. I mean it. Seriously.
Always get voicemail? No return text? Find out why you're not getting your call back. Auto's second date update at 8:20 on Mojo in the